Hi there, my name is Dr. Ted Cibik, and this is my first blogcast, whatever we want to call this. And I've never done this before because I'm usually in front of a live audience and usually getting the audience's energy and feedback. So this is very difficult for me, actually. I'm feeling a little bit apprehensive, but we'll give it a go anyway. So I figured for the first time that you really see me on a blog, welcome to my temple. This is where I come to pray. This is where I come to train. This is where I come to purge, sweat, grow, develop, harness my discipline, keep my mind right, keep my spirit right. This is where I go to get rid of my own demons. This is where I come to enhance myself. This is where I come to train with my mind. Not necessarily my body. You look around, all this equipment and stuff, and it's very physical. Now, this is about the mind. This is about getting your mind right to do something for yourself on a dedicated, disciplined schedule. And I typically work out maybe 5 days a week in here. So it's a dedicated period of time. It's my time. It's when I come to create a healthy body, a healthy mind, and a healthy spirit. And we're going to be talking a lot about all three of those aspects, although I'm beginning into some very esoteric things into this blog. I'm one of those weird people. I'm going to be the one that's going to be talking to you about energy medicine. I'm going to be talking to you about powerlifting. I'm going to be talking to you about diet, nutrition. I'm going to be talking to you about what it's like to have survived 2 death experiences and come back from those. I'm going to be talking to you about the science as well as the philosophy of Chinese and Tibetan medicine, coordinated with exercise science, meditation, qigong, nutrition of Eastern and Western varieties, and the energy that food brings us. And I'm also going to be talking to you a lot about what it is to cultivate your spirit and what it is to become a disciplined person, and through that discipline, allowing yourself to have a better life, to have a better health, to have a better body, to have a sharper mind, to be able to do anything that you want on this planet, and to have so many experiences that you only wish you could live to 120 to experience them all. That's what I want for you. I want you to optimize your life, and I'm going to be talking to you about exactly how to do that through my own trials and tribulations, through my own struggles, through my martial arts training, and so forth. A lot of people don't realize, but by the early 80s, I had one of the first personal training businesses where I would go to people's clients in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I was traveling to 3 different states to train people. I already had 3 different black belts. I had been meditating since I've been 5 years old. I had a lot of skills, and I had a lot of unique sets of skills that people wanted. And so in the wisdom that you gain from having all of those early tools and building upon them in Chinese medicine and energetics, and in furthering my education through just research and, dare I say it, my own experimentation with my body and with my mind, I've come to learn things that I want to share with people. There's no reason in this world not to share the things that you've learned, because that's how we get a better and better society. And I want to improve our society for the future. I want people to be aware of these things before it's too late. And I really feel like I've lived already 9 lifetimes. I've accomplished so many different things in my lifetime, and I'm so blessed and so thankful for it. And I really want to pass on the knowledge. And I'm not trying to sound egotistical. I'm just trying to give you perspective. And hopefully, when you'll start to hear some of the things that I'm going to be talking about and how I've merged things together, you see, health, wellness, mental tenacity, stability, fortitude, mental discipline is something you have to work for. It's not something you're born with. It's not something that somebody has and somebody hasn't. It's something you acquire by busting your ass. That's the only way you get it. You have to really dig deep and come to know yourself. You got to fight your own demons. You got to work on yourself relentlessly to come to a place where you have peace of mind, or we like to say in Taoism, where you walk in the center or in the charm. And what I want to give people now is a sense of how to take responsibility for themselves. You know, there's a lot of information out there. There is bazillions of videos and blogs and iTunes, Whotunes, whatever it is. But the idea is there are so many pieces of information out there. Nobody can string it together to give you optimal wellness. And let me tell you folks, it's not one thing. It's not just coming in here and paying your dues in the gym. It's not just the diet and the salad. It's not just because you meditate on a cushion. You got to roll it all together in and make it a lifestyle for you. And no one's going to look the same and no one's going to be the same. So don't expect to look like anybody on the cover of a magazine or whatever that magazine is. Whether that's a Buddhist magazine or whether that's, you know, the Empty Vessel, plug out to Solala, and all those other different magazines in health and wellness and muscular development and men's health and, you know, whatever else you're listening to. You're not going to ever be those people. Learn to be yourself. Learn to be the creative, individualistic person that you have to love. And that person is the person I want to talk to. That's the person that I want to train. I want to train your mind. I want to give you something to think about. And that's what these blogs are going to be about. So I'm going to take pieces of every single thing that I know. One time it's going to be a little bit of nutrition. The next time it's going to be in here, it's going to be powerlifting and how to get stronger as you get older. You know, I've had a lot of different operations in my life, 18 to be exact, I think. Well, I lost count after a while, because I used to just tear shit off my body doing martial arts. And, you know, I competed, I did all kinds of crazy things in fighting and tournaments and all kinds of stuff. And I can honestly tell you, it was all worth it, but I wouldn't recommend it. But I learned things about my body. Number one, I learned how to rehab myself. Of all the things that I learned how to come back from injury, from surgeries, from anesthesia, from all kinds of crazy stuff that has to go with being an athlete. And on top of that, I was born an asthmatic. I was born with the expectation that I would never live. And they were right. I've died twice. I've died once when I've been 5, and I've died again when I was 12. Both times in a hospital, both times documented, both times being dead for over 15 minutes, and here I stand. So, yes, I can talk about spirituality from a very different perspective. Not because I read something in a book, or because I trained with so-and-so, or I hang out in a temple, but because I've crossed over and come back twice. And that makes me a little bit of a different kind of an authority. And I'm going to be talking to you about how to weave spiritualness or spirituality into your day-to-day workouts, your day-to-day nutrition, your day-to-day life. It's going to be a very different approach. I call it a Taoist approach because I hold myself in, how do I say this, in balance with nature. I try to balance myself with nature, my own nature and nature that you would think about outside. And that's why my gym has windows and I'm overlooking farmland and I'm watching, the red fox and I'm watching bears cross my property and I'm watching deer and I'm watching all of that as I work out. That's why I call this my temple. Because it's very different kind of gym because I'm a very different kind of person and I need that. So I'm going to be sharing so much with you. I hope you stay tuned. I hope you tune in frequently. What I'm going to try to do is try to do one of these a week. I don't have to, I'm going to try. I mean, I'm teaching all the time. I'm seeing patients. I'm still running martial arts school. I have a lot of different things, a lot of different diversity. Plus taking care of the property on the farm. We have almost 100 acres here. And, there's things take your time. But I'm going to try to make time to do this because I want to pass something on, something different to people, something that is very unique, that bridges a lot of different interests. Maybe you're like me, you have a diversity in your interests, and if so, I hope you join me. Thanks again, and I hope to talk to you very soon. Take care. Blessings.